I traveled here to the US to attend the 2025 Fascia Research Congress event. I attended this event with Chong Zi, who you may understand I did my rehabilitation program with to overcome and resolve cervical instability. In today's video, I wanted to read out the post I've just put in the CCI Facebook community groups, which is a bit of a summary and some more information about what they presented here at the Congress, and also how that links to cervical instability and how that links to Chong's work. So that's what I'm going to do at the moment. I flew all the way to the USA to attend all 5 days of the Fascia Research Congress with Chong Zi, who I did my cervical instability rehabilitation with to resolve my condition. Of course, his Instagram is Secret of Athleticism if you want to take a look at his work. Here are the key takeaways specifically for you people as a CCI patient from this event. As a sponsor of the event, we were there to support the continuing fascia research as Chong's work currently is undergoing clinical trials. Just before I mention something you all need to know about spinal fusion, Chong has successfully rehabilitated 3 cervical instability cases, with more currently in his one-on-one program, and they are getting fantastic results. The fascia science explains why this is the case, and his exact protocol will be scientifically proven by the end of this year with a randomized controlled clinical trial and research paper. It will then be undeniable scientifically. Now, about the fusion. Researcher and scientist Mark Driscoll confirmed what we have known to be true about the properties of fascia. In his presentation, he showed from his research that those who had fusion on the spine almost always required more and more fusion over time as the fascia relaxed even more and relied too much on the hardware to support the body. In his words, the body becomes lazy. This reinforces the instability pattern throughout the entire body. The change of spinal shape in the first place in CCI comes from damage to tensegrity, tension, and integral elements. My main focus in these groups on educating people before they get to a critical state can prevent such a downward spiral where you become bedridden or require fusion. It is so important to address CCI before this happens. It is non-linear. That means fascia does not degenerate at the same rate. If you do not have a healthy fascia structure with correct tensegrity and proper fascial compartment pressure, which is a positive thing, you cannot resolve CCI. This is a structural issue. This is why Chong has been able to rehabilitate multiple CCI patients. His methods physically change the cellular structure and organization of the fascia, something that massage, prolotherapy, PRP, and stem cells cannot do alone. Why? Because it doesn't change the structure with these 3 things. And these 3 things are something you need to know about and need to understand. Leveraging myofibroblast cells, which allows the fascia cellular structure to be stronger. This takes a very exact process and recipe to do in the right way. Number 2, increasing piezoelectricity for cellular change. If these cells don't have enough energy, they can't remodel, they cannot heal. And the methodologies and modalities I just spoke about do not increase piezoelectricity. You need to do that with your body. And third of all, rebuilding through viscoelasticity. Fascia can remodel because it can change structure. However, you need the correct input, which you have to create. It cannot be created on a table in massage for you to change and rehabilitate the body. My next note, vagus nerve. A big focus at this Congress. A lot was spoken about the vagus nerve. If fascia has collapsed and the structure has been damaged, through accident, injury, EDS, mold, bacteria, virus, or just degeneration, the vagus nerve can be compressed by the collapse of fascia onto itself. It gets constricted, it gets squeezed, and then signals cannot transfer through the body. You are going to have a high level of stress. It's not psychological stress, although it could cause psychological stress, but that underlying level of that physiological stress is always going to be there. So it doesn't matter how much nervous system regulation you do, your body is constantly under stress, right? Okay. The vagus nerve can be compressed by the collapse of fascia onto itself. So those people that are having scans and not seeing bone on bone compressing jugular vein, nerves, etc., the collapse is in the fascia, which you can't see from the scans. This is something we've been talking about so much. And it's so great to see these scientists continue to confirm this. Of course, we're at a fascia congress. Everyone's talking about the fascia and they understand the properties and behaviors. They understand how it works. So many of cervical instability symptoms can come from this alone. Brain fog, headaches, pain, memory issues, pressure buildup in the head, digestive issues, heart rate fluctuations, low HRV, energy, POTS, The same goes with blood vessel restrictions, as I just talked about. Of course, you understand when you have CCI, it's not just one symptom. The list of symptoms is huge. And these symptoms can be explained by the fascia perspective, what happens when the fascia is damaged, what happens to the fascia, and what happens to the rest of the body. The whole body is integrated through the fascia. It's the medium, it's the environment that your body is in. CCI symptoms are explained by understanding what fascia structure damage does to the body. Start educating yourself. This is why I helped Chong set up his Patreon page to show you the fascia education. The educational resources are there for you to learn from. The Patreon has been set up so everyone has access and we can continue educating people. We have over 3,000 members already that have joined in under a year. Housekeeping. When I say fascia structure, this includes ligaments. It's all part of the same tensegrity system, as all of these fascia researchers know. If you haven't been able to resolve your condition and you believe the opposite, have a look at how your understanding is serving you. Are you getting better from your current level of understanding? Or does something need to change for you to actually be able to get better and change what you're doing? You need to be curious. One-on-one coaching is needed for the result that Chong has gotten with his clients. This condition is so complex and requires the finest level of detail, as I'm sure you understand. There is no one size fits all. There is no program that you can just copy. That doesn't exist. Everyone's dysfunctions and medical condition is vastly different, and everyone has a different capacity for training, for exercise, for recovery, for remodeling. Everyone's program would be incredibly different. Trust me, I know what mine was. I've seen what other people's are. I know what they have been doing in their programs with Chong. Everyone is very different because everyone starts at a different point. This is not a singular magic exercise or 5 magic exercises. It's not a magic wand that you just wave over the body and you're all of a sudden you are better. It takes hard work across at least 12 weeks. And then I went on to say, I don't want to take over this page. However, I have skin in the game and this work is genuinely life-saving. My inbox is open to anyone who has questions. I'll put my email on the screen here. You can send me an email or you can send me a message on Instagram if you want to learn more or if you have any questions. The skin in the game I have is that I had cervical instability. I tried prolotherapy, I tried manual therapy, I tried mainstream physiotherapy. However, none of these things attend to the fascia's properties and behaviors, which is vastly different to muscles' properties and behaviors. Did you know fascia is up to 552 times stronger than muscle, the tensile strength? Muscles themselves, their strength is created from fascia. If you strip away the fascia from the muscle fibers, they have tiniest amount of strength. The structural strength has to come from the fascia. So if we start loading the body, like putting head weights or neck weights on, that's only going to force the muscles to compensate, right? May work in the short term, but as you age, if the fascia structure is already damaged, it's only going to degenerate more and more and more. So we need to address the fascia to resolve this issue. Hopefully you learned something today, and hopefully you stay curious and you start looking into the fascia perspective. I look forward to hearing from all of you.